export from CAA and Marshall's Aerospace, companies like EADS, ABP, BAE Systems, Jefferson, Subaru, AD Holdings, Goldrich, Rolls-Royce, Joe Power, and of course Seawater Limited at Vulcan. So despite this is only really safe until the end of this display season. So the Vulcan to the sky thrust. He is actually desperately keen to keep the money flowing in. What they really want to do is to have it around to celebrate the London Olympics, and even more importantly, fly at Buckingham Palace in 2012 to celebrate Her Majesty's Diamond Jubilee. Actually, the Queen says she's quite fond of the Vulcan, so she's even named one of her corgis. Actually, it's not a corgi; it's a Dorig. It's a corgi Dachshund cross, and she's called that Vulcan. So there are other people who support her. So why shouldn't we support the Vulcan? Business plan actually is for commercial sponsorship, but it's kind of a good time at the moment for that. Martin Williams, yes, he was the guy who flew 609. He wasn't actually the lead crew. There were two Vulcans. He was the reserve Vulcan in case something went wrong with the first one, and it did. They had a cabin pressure problem with part of the windscreen, so they had to return to the Ascension Islands. So Martin and his crew took over the role, and he was the reserve crew for Buck 1 down to Port Stanley. So he actually, as I say, took on the mission because the original aircraft went unserviceable shortly after takeoff. It was a 16-hour flight. They had to say Vulcans and Victors. They dropped 21 1,000-pound bombs on the runway. Got 2 hits out of it, made it unusual for the fast jets, and that's important. As I say, he was awarded the DFC. Romans is the co-pilot. He actually used to fly on with the RAF Vulcan display team. He was a co-pilot. He looked very young at the time. We kind of thought he was on some really clever YTS scheme, but you know, there you go. He actually lost him out on 15th Squadron. Flew during the Gulf War. First pilot to achieve 100 combat hours during since World War II. He's now a first officer on Airbus 340s, flying with Virgin. And there's one other member of the crew on board. For display purposes, they carry 3, and that's the AEO, the Air Electronics Officer. Barry Macefield is doing that job today. Again, he was actually with the number 1 crew for Black Buck, so he was supposed to have flown the Black Buck sortie, but the number 1 crew went unserviceable. So between the two of them, there's sort of one should have been there, and the other, ooh, my lucky day. So if you're enjoying this display and you want to help support the aeroplane, there is a quick and easy way to do it. There's always a quick and easy way to do it. And you can make a £3 donation just using your mobile phone. You text Vulcan to xh558.mp4, and you can be one of the people who keeps this magnificent aircraft on the air. That lovely noise comes from the four Rolls-Royce Bristol Olympus engines. They develop £16,500 of static thrust each, so it's a pretty pokey aeroplane. Can get up to 65,000 feet. Operational radius without refueling, with a bomb load of 4,500 miles. Actually, I've just been joined by Phil Davies. Operationally on the Vulcan, if they were flying operationally, how many people, and we got 3 on today because it's a display, but operationally how many would they normally carry?
The normal operational crew was 5. You'd have 2 navigators, an AEO and 2 pilots.
Okay, now I've certainly seen larger crews than that, because they used to carry their own engineers sometimes.
Yes, there's a 6th and 7th seat, so you could actually carry 7 people, and quite often when we did overseas ranges going to the States or whatever, we'd have 7 people on board. For those who've seen in the back of a Vulcan, that was pretty cramped.
And the guys at the back are actually facing backwards, aren't they?
Yeah, I think the 3 seats in the back face backwards, and the 6th and 7th seat were kind of in the wheel wells almost, sitting on their parachute.
Yeah, it was a little bit controversial, wasn't it? The pilot and the co-pilot sat on ejector seats, the rear crew didn't, and that was controversial, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, but I think most of the crews who flew it, we were around enough for us to slide down the door and operate our parachutes and go over it that way, and people did, and people got out of the aircraft.
Low level with the gear down, just retracting it at the moment. With blackbucking your time on the Vulcans?
No, I left the Vulcan in the early 82 and I was at Boston Down.
Okay.
In fact, I flew 558 at Boston Down when she was a tanker.
Just a question, I'm not sure whether I'm right here, but on the raid, did they actually carry another pilot, a Victor tanker pilot? Because
yes, they did.
Because actually for the tanking bit, the Vulcan guys weren't up to speed on